Hi again. I've just finished watching a recording of the Channel 4 programme Drugs Live, Cannabis on Trial. I must say, despite the format and the hilarious spectacle of Peter Snow, Jenny Bond and Matthew Parris getting zonked on skunk, plus a rather strange conclusion on the studio graph of drugs ranging from tobacco to heroin, that methadone was at the bottom of the harm index, I can't agree with that, which was presented by the exceedingly oddly named Professor David Nutt. But the programme in particular and the audience was intelligent, spontaneous and very well informed, and obviously very well experienced in such matters. So rather than rake over the programme, I thought I'd be as frank as most of the people taking part that were in the audience and talk about skunkweed and hash. I've been smoking and eating the stuff for over 45 years. So I'm talking about almost half a century there. When I say eating it, I mean in the form of dope cakes and hash cookies, and also you can eat a blim of hash anyway, and you're well zonked for a couple of hours. So what's my overall personal summary of the secret weed and its products? Entirely positive as it happens. I've never had a bad experience on the stuff. I do recognise through extensive usage that skunkweed is mega strong and probably could cause harm with some people. But you could say that about any product or anything. The only ill effects I personally detected with skunkweed is a morning after come down similar to that of heroin or smack. So let me be brief and tell you that stoned, I found reading, writing, working, having sex, watching movies, just walking around, doing housework, listening to music, socialising, usually with other stoners, travelling, and even going down to the local market shopping, a far more rewarding experience when zonked. And you can stay zonked for hours if you eat it in hash cookies. Great for a trip to the movies, for example. It certainly positively heightens such mundane everyday things that I describe. If ever I feel down, a quick smoke will perk me right up. If I've gone without it for any period of time, I've never had any withdrawal symptoms. I find it a great use and comfort when beset by various pains that I suffer from. But really, I only take it because I like being stoned, and I go as far as to say that these ridiculously illicit substances have greatly improved the quality of my life. I bet there are millions out there who would claim the same in this country alone. Oh yes, and no wonder Peter Snow and dear old Jenny Bond and the others got so whacked was because they used a top-notch vaporizer, a machine that gets you as high as a kite with even low-grade weed and keeps you stoned for hours on end. So if you're elderly or late middle-aged such as myself and fancy trying it out in pleasant circumstances without any hassle, I'd suggest nipping over to Amsterdam for a little holiday for a couple of days. Try out a vaporizer in one of the many coffee shops that cater for the dope head. They're very friendly staff. They'll help you out if you've got no experience, and it's all legal. And Amsterdam is a great place to wander around if you're a pedestrian, really laid back. The only danger is stepping out in front of a cyclist. So all you Daily Mail and Torygraph readers, check it out. Even if you've got a slight sense of adventure, you certainly won't regret it. It's pure speculation on my behalf, but I'd say that humans have probably been using weed for tens of thousands of years. After all, it's nothing more than a natural herb. It may have even helped us to develop mentally with language, abstract thought, art. Were some of the rock paintings partly inspired by people off their heads on weed or maybe magic mushrooms? Probably. Millions of us on this backward island consumed weed and hash on a weekly basis. People of all ages, all backgrounds, and none of us consider it to be a crime. So there's no need to be an anarchist to hold such a view. Will it ever be legal here? Like in Holland and other places? Not if the politicians, newspapers, lawmakers, judges, Puritans and religious nuts that continue to dominate discourse on everything, on every level, and the completely unrepresentative minority still continue to hold dominance. No, it never will be. But as I always say, to hell with these ignorant bastards. To hell with these ignorant pigs. Millions of us know a lot differently. So, after that, What am I going to do? Well, I feel like I'm going to go somewhere and have a nice little smoke and be off my head for the rest of the afternoon. Goodbye.